Good day, folks. Welcome to Bright Mind Academy, where we bring brilliance to every lesson. Now, May June 2023, continuation question 6, financial mathematics. Now, we are told that a company bought a photocopier for 150,000 on the 1st of July 2022. They will use the old photocopier as a trade-in when they replace it with a similar photocopier in 5 years' time. Now, please, it is a time story now. Please hear my story. I buy a car, okay? I buy a car now in 2024. Let's say I buy that car at 5 rand. Please bear with me. I just want to explain this as fast as I possibly can. Now, this is in 2024, right? Me, then the company that sells the car. The same car in 2029, let's say for both, the same car in 2029 at the store, it will cost, when I sell it after 5 years in 2029, I will sell it at 1 rand. Why? Because it will have lost value. It will have lost value. But this is the analogy that we use in financial math, right? But the very same car in 2029, due to inflation, when it is still at the company, it is new, it hasn't been used, it hasn't been what, it increases to how much? 2 to 8 rand. Why? Due to inflation. This is due to inflation. This will decrease when it is with you due to what? To depreciation. All right? Yes. Now, what will happen is that if I want to replace the very same car with the same model of this car, let's say this car Nike, ne? I want to replace this car Nike after 5 years with the same model of this car. So I realized that I'm gonna sell this with 1 rand, but I will have to buy with this with 1 rand, 8 rand rather. So it means throughout these years, I should save. I should save how much? Save 7 rand, right? So this saving of 7 rand, it is what we call sinking fund. Sinking fund. It is a fund that you will open immediately after buying a car. You will open this sinking fund so that you start saving money in such a way. After 5 years, you sell this car with 1 rand plus the 7 rand that you have saved. Then you get 8 rand. Then you are able to buy a new car. So now, after this, the story time has ended. We are in a position of answering the question now. Another important thing is that when you open a savings account, open the saving account on 1 January, you should start making regular payments from 31 January or 1 February, a month after opening it. All right? Yes, that is the analogy thereof. If you open it on 1 January and make payment on 1 January, on the number of months that you are supposed to actually pay, let's say you are supposed to pay to make 60 payments, you're going to add 1 to it because you did what? Immediate payment. For immediate payment, you add 2. All right? Now, again, if it is converted quarterly, you are supposed to pay after 3 months. After 3 months, you pay. After 3 months, you pay. After 3 months, you pay. But if you decide to pay immediately, you're going to add. All right? You're going to add months there. An extra month, actually. You're going to say just +1, not +3, +1. Now let's answer. The average rate of inflation over 5 years will be 6.5% annum. Determine the price of the similar new photocopier in 5 years. Remember I said if it was 5 rand, it's going to increase to 8 rand, right? So I'm expecting here for 6.1. What's happening, man? 6.1.1. I'm expecting my price to increase due to what? Due to inflation. So it's gonna be what? 150,000. 1 plus what is my interest? My interest it is 6.5. So I'm gonna say 6.5 divided by 100. I get 0.06065. 0.0665 for how many years? For 5 years. Okay, then I punch that on my calculator. I get right. I get an amount of, let me just do this so that you can see. I get an amount of 205, really, 205, 512.999999, which makes it 205, 5113. Let me see if I did not do any mistake in my calculation thereof. Yes, I did not. 150,000 plus 0.065 to the power of 5. Let me just use 6.5% and see. Yes, it is the same answer. So now I'll call this inflation. You'll know why I call it inflation later on. All right. Now let's answer 6.2.2, 1.2 rather. It says now calculate the trading value of the old photocopier after 5 years if it depreciates at 9.9% per annum on a straight line method. Now the trading value, it is the money that you will get after selling that old machinery or photocopier. So remember, if I said you bought it with 5 rand, it will depreciate to 1 rand. But now there are two types of depreciation. The first one, it is by straight line. If it depreciates by straight line, it's going to be A, it is equal to P into 1 minus IN. But if it depreciates by reducing method, you're going to use this. Okay, please take note. But in this case, you're going to use this one. Why? Because it is depreciating using straight line method. So I'm going to say A, it is equal to P into 1 minus IN. What is my I? My I in this case, it is 9 divided by 100, which is 0.09. Okay, yes. So I'm going to say A, all right. And I'm expecting my value here to decrease. Why? Because it is now old. All right, yes. Then how much do I get there? I get an amount of minus 0.09 times 5. I get an amount of 82,500. This is what I call my depreciation. Now, another thing, when you open a sinking fund, remember I talked about sinking fund, did I? All right. Now, yes, I did when all right, let me re-explain this. You are buying that car now, right? Then now, car 5 rand, then it's gonna depreciate to how much? To 1 rand. But the company will inflate at the company by how much? Let's say to 8 rand. Now I said at the end of 5 years after selling this car, you'll have 1 rand. You will be short of how much? You will be short of 7 rand, right? But now, instead of going to the machonisa and going to loan the money thereof, you do what? You calculate these values immediately after buying this car so that you can start doing what? You can start saving. Now, when you start saving, you have to save. You have to save for how much? You have to save 7 rand, right? But now that saving, it is what we call what? Sinking fund. This saving is what we call what? Sinking fund. I'm not sure I explained this or not, but it's fine. Sinking fund. But what is sinking fund? Sinking fund, it is us taking our inflation value minusing the what? The depreciation value. Why? Because we want to see how much exactly should we save for. All right. So in this case, it's gonna be 8 rand minus 1 rand, so it's gonna be 7 rand. So it means we have to save a total amount of 7 rand at the end of 5 years. This is what we call what? Sinking fund thereof. All right. Then let me remove this. And now 6.1.3 says to us, the company set up a sinking fund, yes, to cover the replacement cost of the new photocopier. They set up the sinking fund immediately after buying a new car. Please take note of that. Actually, after buying whatever the new thing that they buy. Ne? Yes. Now they say the fund earns interest at a rate of 7.85% per annum compounded quarterly. All right. The company made its first payment. This is very important. The first payment. The company made its first payment deposit on 31 July 2022. So what happens? They open the saving account. Open. Open. When? They open this on immediate after when they buy the car, whatever that they're buying. So they bought this on 1 July. So it means they immediately open the what? The saving account. But now I said for a normal transaction, as the analogy that we use in financial math, you should start making regular payments at the end of the month or 1 February, between the two. At the end of the month, we assume that the month takes 30 days, all right? So it means now the first payment should come here. All right, you should start in putting money inside your saving at the 31st of January. Is that the of January if you started in 1 January? But in this case, they started in 1 July. So it means the first payment should be done in 31 July. So now it means it is okay. It is what? It is okay. But now what happens? They say and will continue to do so until 31 May. So remember, it was supposed to be ending at 30 June 2027, but instead they end at 31 May 2027, which is 1 month prior to the new photocopy being bought. So they make the last payment 1 month earlier. So if they do the last payment 1 month earlier, so you're gonna say on the number of payment we're gonna subtract 1. Why? Because they ended earlier. Okay, if they ended 3 months earlier, we're gonna subtract 3. Now the question is how much should be deposited at the end of each month so that it can be blah blah blah. Now another important part, when we subtract here on the number of payments, we should add this on our formula. We should add this 1 plus I to the power of whatever the number of months that we did not pay. So in this case, they did not pay for 1 month, so it means we're gonna add this part. Are we gonna add that one? We're gonna say now, the first part is saying sinking fund. Oh, I'm now answering 1.6.1.3. The first thing first, it is sinking fund, which is my future value. So what is my sinking fund? My sinking fund, it is my inflation minus what? Minus my depreciation. How is depreciation written? But let me just confirm that depreciation depreciates. Yeah, depreciation. So how much is our inflation money? Our inflation money is 205, 530, yo. 205, 530 minus depreciation amount, it is how much? 82,000, 82,500. Then how much is our sinking fund, which is our future value? Because at the end we want this value, all right? So when I punch my calculator there, I get how much? I get an amount of 123,013. So it means at the end of 5 years, he should have saved this amount of money. So we're gonna say F it is equal to, what is the formula for future value? 1, actually 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1, right? All raised to the power of I. Let me just do this so that you can see. But remember I said please add what? Please add this part. 1 plus I to the power of n. Why? Because now there is a number, there is a month that was not that was not paid, or rather the transaction ended earlier. So for the remainder of the months that were not paid, we add this part for it. Okay, please also check the May June 2022 question paper. I explained this one. All right, so now what is my future value? My future value, what exactly do I want here? I did not so the question is how much should be deposited at the end of each month. Remember, for future value you do regular payments into that sinking fund, so they want that the value of x, the off. So how can we get that? How we get that? Let's substitute. What is future value? Future value, it is 123,013. It is equal to x. What is this? You're gonna say 1 plus. What is our interest? Our interest, it is 7.85. 7.85. 7.85 divided by 100, it is 0, oh, now this is very important. You're gonna say 0.0785. Then you divide by the months, which is 12, to the power of, for how many years? For how many years? Now, this is not the number of years. This is the number of payments. Please take note of that. So the number of payments that were supposed to be done, it was supposed to be 5 multiplied by 12 months, right? So the particular person was supposed to pay, to do regular payments for 12 months in each year until 5 years. But now they ended earlier with a month, right? So there is this month that they did not pay. So it was going to be 60 minus 1, which is 50, 59. So this is how we calculate the number of payments. And this on this formula does not mean the number of years, rather means the number of payments. So the number of payments going to be done is going to be how much? 59. This is very important. 59. Then I'm gonna close my bracket. Then I divide by the interest thereof. The interest, it is 0.0785 divided by 12. But please, I said please add what for me? Add this 1 plus 0.0785 divided by 12. How many months did they skip? They skipped only 1 month. So let me fetch my calculator so that you can see how we do this. Where is my Casio calculator? Here it is. I want you to see how we punch this, okay? Because many students struggle in terms of enlargement. All right. So this is how we're gonna punch. You're gonna punch everything here, this part, all of it, all of this part on your calculator, all of this part on your calculator. You're gonna punch that, all of it on your calculator. Let's do that. It's gonna be divided by first bracket 1 plus 0.0785 divided by 12 to the power of 59 right? Minus 1, you close my bracket. Then you come to the division part. You divide by what? 0.0785 divide by 12. I'm hoping that I do not do any mistake. Then I multiply by that bracket 1 plus 0.075, 0.0785 divide by 12 to the power of 1. I do not need to do that. Let me just confirm my all of my things are correct. Yes. Then I say equal sign. All right. I just leave this as it is. I just leave this as it is on my calculator. Then I'm gonna say now x, it is gonna be equal to 123,013 divided by the answer. Do not show on paper, or you can. Or you can, but you should not say answer. Instead, you should just show us what the answer is. 79,19 blah 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 blah. So I can say 79,19 blah 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 instead. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say 123,013 divide by what? Divide by the answer. So I get x as what there? Let x as 1704.01. 1704,01. This is the monthly payment they're gonna do. All right. Let's quickly move on to the last question, 6.2. So they say today Andrew borrowed present value, borrowed 200,000 from a bank. The bank charges an interest of at 5.25 per annum compounded quarterly. All right. So quarterly it is every after 3 months. So Andrew will make repayments of 6,000 x at the end of every 3 months. Very good. His first repayment will be made 3 months from now. Yes, 3 months from now. Remember, if you take, let's talk about loan. If you take a loan now, you take a loan now in January, and you take it monthly. It is, you pay this monthly. So the first payment should come in February. You do not pay immediately after taking a loan. Now you are broke, so how are you gonna pay? So you're gonna start making the first payment when? In February. All right, this is normal. But if you take it for, let's say you loan now in January, and you are your interest, it is quarterly. Remember, quarterly it is every after after 3 months, right? So the first payment should come after 3 months. After 3 months, it is what? May, January, it is February, March, April. In April, it is your first payment after 3 months. So if that's the case, then it is normal. So they say to us, his first payment will be made in 3 months from now. Yes, this is normal. We do not add or subtract anything. How long in years will it take Andrew to settle the loan? Let's do this. Let's quickly do this together and see. This one should be fairly, I do not want to say easy, but it should be it should be fair. Actually, let me say it should be fair. Now, why am I saying that? Because, all right, when you borrow something, it is a loan. You use present value. It's gonna be x1 minus 1 plus I to the power of n, negative n, sorry, negative n. Okay, all divided by what? All divided by your interest there. You all agree with me, right? Yes, you all agree with me. Then when you move on, where is my mouse? All right, When we move on, we're gonna just substitute. What is P? P is the money borrowed. It is 200,000. Yo, but so much money. X, it is the payments, regular payments that you're gonna do, which is 6,000. 1 minus 1 plus, what is our interest? Our interest, it is 5,25. 5,25 divided by 100. It is how much? 0,0525. Divide by what? Quarterly, we divide by 4. To the power of what? Negative 5. For how many years? Oh, we want n, so it's gonna be 4 multiplied by n. Why? Because you multiply by whatever that you have here to that n. Okay? Yes. You multiply by whatever that you have on the n, then divide by what? Divide by my interest. Yo, this line is so skewed. Divide by my interest, which is 0,0525 divided by 4. I'm going to show you how to do this. How can I move my calculator, Marai? Ish. Actually, what I want you to do is this. I want you to firstly multiply this to this side. Alright? Then let's do that. Let's multiply this by that. It's going to be what? 2,000 multiplied by 0,0525 divided by 4. We get this value here, which is 26, 26, 25. But I wanted this value 26, 25. It is equal to, it's going to equal whatever this is, right? It's going to equal whatever this is here at the top, right? I might need to just take it like this. It's fine. Abo. Just copy it. Actually, let me do this. I might need to copy this. All right. Let's just copy a text and come and paste. Yo. Let's copy instead of copying a text and come paste it here. Yes. Oh, let's put it here. Maybe. All right, and take this here. All right, this is what you wanna have. Where is my 6,000? All right, Christe. I'm lazy to start again rewriting. Yeah. All right, it's fine. I'll do this. 6,000 here. Then we have how much? 2,625. Confirm? Yes. Then now you divide this answer by how much? By 6,000. You get how much? 7 divided by 16. Then I'm gonna say 1 minus. I'll just remove this mess a little bit in here. Oh, there's a division line here. I want to remove this. I want to go through this with you so that you can see. Let me see if. Oh my goodness. Let's continue this on the next video, okay? Or yes, let's continue this on the next video. I wasted time. Sorry.